Hello, hello, hello. This is Attorney Mike Gravel coming to you from Chicago as usual. It's Friday. It's happy hour. I've got good stuff. A lot of you guys were with me today. I was in search of... I was in search of Karen number 2. I did a video called Karen Tenant. I put a link to it in the description below. And there was a follow-up court appearance today. And, of course, I didn't get it the first time. I tried to live stream it. It didn't happen. And Katrina called a break. But I did later record it. It's fantastic. I know a bunch of you were there. Our chat rated the rated Judge Marable's chat. It was good times. It was good times. But you will see that, as usual, I was right. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch Karen Tenant and then watch this. And you'll see that I was spot on. All right, let's enough bragging for the moment. There's a lot more good stuff than that. We've got a lot to get to, so let's get the party started, shall we?
And great morning. All right.
Okay.
I am Judge Lanice Bryant.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the 36th District Court.
We're in the 36D.
The 36th District Court. You are at 36th District Court. Okay. Well, what are you already on? Because the lawyers have come on.
I'm ready on Dejan Sims and Courtney Williams, Judge.
Oh, sweet Jesus! What?
Murad and Christina,
I gotta learn how to just not be thrown off by foolishness.
They're too afraid.
All right, I'm ready on Williams.
Okay, over the...
By the way, this was all sent to me. That somebody sent. I'm going to protect their identity in this circumstance. I can't remember, but all this stuff was sent to me on IG and Discord. If you want to get something to me ever, one of those two places is probably your best bet. Thank you, everybody. Here we are in Judge Odette's courtroom. He's in Genesee, which I believe is where Marable is as well. So, the crazy continues over there.
Jail, Ariana Bonner. C22TB2199F1. State your name for the record.
Ariana Bonner.
Bonner, you got 2 counts here. Count 1 is home invasion, first degree. Count 2 is assault with intent to degrade bodily harm less than murder. Your case is assigned to Judge Goggins. Mr. Wheaton is here on your behalf in the courtroom. Mr. Wheaton.
Thank you, Your Honor. Rob Wheaton, representing Ms. Bonner for purposes of putting it on the record. Mr. Bowey spoke with her earlier, went over the 2-count felony complaints, potential penalty for each count, her constitutional rights as well as the right, including her right to a preliminary exam. I'd ask for the way formal reading of those. Set the matter, and or not guilty, set the matter for a PCC and an exam date. She is unemployed, so she is asking for appointed counsel with address found in the court.
All right, this case is assigned to Judge Goggins. You're requesting court-appointed counsel, is that correct?
That's right, Judge.
All right, August 25th at 1 in the afternoon is the preliminary or probable cause conference. August 31st is preliminary examination. You may address Bonner.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Bonner indicates she's presently unemployed, not on probation or parole, does have a valid license, has given us the address and information is correct, has given us the phone number, been in jail for 2 days, indicates no priors. I would ask court to consider that information in setting an appropriate fine.
All right. These are two serious charges: home invasion, assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder. I will set a 10% bond, 2,500, 10% on both of them. You're going to have no contact. With Ariana Curtin,
No, this is Wilford Brimley.
Jasper Skinner. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Is he good there?
Yes.
All right.
I'll give him right now. Okay. Oh. Hey, what's your name?
John Bird, sir.
All right, I'll be right with you. No contact with Jasper Skinner or Ariana Bonner. Understood?
I am Ariana Bonner.
You are Ariana Bonner. Don't talk to yourself, I guess.
Okay.
Come on, that was good.
We got an issue here with the way this warrant was. Jasper Skinner.
I have no idea.
Well, judge on the other side of the building did a warrant charging you with assaulting yourself. You have no contact with Jasper Skinner. You need $500. $500 to get out of jail.
Me?
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Oscar says hit like and subscribe. Well, and hit the bell notification. Thanks, Oscar. I always forget that.
Okay, watch out. We're going to go see a new judge, and he is a ham. He's incredibly efficient. He's a super nice guy. He's very respectful to the defendants, but he's just a ham. And I actually had more, but I cut it out so that we could get to the Karen tenant scenario. But what I left in is just an awful pro se in front of a really nice judge. And we're going to Battleground, Washington. And somebody sent this to me too. Not recently, but they sent me this call like a few weeks ago, and then this came across my feed.
You know what we need to have? Do you ever see those old time movies where they have like the pressurized things where you can just put it up and seal it up, shoot it up? We need one of those. Wouldn't that make this fun? We shoot it back and forth. Oh man. It would be, I would not mind the volume because it would be worth the fun. Mr. Height, can you hear the court, sir? Taylor Height. If I talk louder, do you think it would work? Yell? No? Wave my arms? None of those things work? Jumping up and down? Wait, you mean I'm not in charge? Okay. Well, maybe not, huh? Okay. All right.
I messaged him to start his audio because it doesn't look like he's connected. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see, this is about as nice, affable, pleasant a judge as you could possibly get. But this defendant finds a way to screw it up.
Okay. Well, Mr. Height, can you hear the court, sir? Can't hear you. You need to connect the audio.
Thank you, Cal. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Leonard assemble. Night and E, how you doing? We're glad you did, Tammy.
So Ms. Sanderson, I think what I'm going to do is try to call him.
Your Honor, I have him on the phone right now. He's trying to turn his audio on.
Well, my thought is I can just use the phone audio here.
Okay.
To do it because
My thought is when you show up to court with a hat askew like that and a bunch of face tattoos, maybe you've made some bad decisions in life, and maybe you're going to continue to make bad decisions.
he's always doing is poking at his screen right now.
Okay, so actually I'm going to hang up and the judge is going to call you, okay?
All right. Anyone who wants to get that number prepped, let me know. 30. And do I dial a 1? No. All right. Is this Taylor Haidt?
Hyatt, but yeah.
Hyatt, okay. So, Mr. Hyatt, you are making an appearance today, sir, on first appearance arraignment for a charge of driving while suspended in the 3rd degree. Driving while suspended in the 3rd degree is a simple misdemeanor. It's subject to 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. I have reviewed the police report, have found probable cause. Would you like to be screened today, sir, for a court-appointed attorney?
No.
Okay. How would you like to proceed?
You know, I'd like to share the situation,
What's the situation, sir?
like what happened. I mean, I was already parked, and he went behind me. He actually had let me drive before he even pulled me over.
So if he
Okay, so the audio is horrible because of the phone. I mean, otherwise on this call, the audio is really pretty good. But so I'm going to recap it for you just to highlight how stupid it is. He's being charged with driving while suspended. And he said, well, he didn't pull me over till I was parked. He sat there and watched me drive, which is a complete and total admission against interest of guilt of the entire offense. I get it. It's just a driving while suspended, but you could not say something dumber in open court. And then he's like haughty about it. It's too good.
sees you driving, that's all that's needed for driving while suspended. He sees you drive through the drive-through.
I understand that.
Okay.
I don't disagree, but I mean, if it was so
That's
fair,
handy.
why did he let me go to the drive-thru before he pulled me over? As a matter of fact, he let me park in the Walmart parking lot before he came and pulled me over. Actually, I was already parked.
So how do you want to plead today? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Okay. I would let you know right now you do have a warrant on another driving while suspended that's been issued in Clark County. You're aware of that. You were supposed to appear. You were supposed to appear this morning in our court at 8:30. We'd already issued a warrant for you when you did log in. So I'm glad that you're appearing now. We will cancel that warrant with the entry of a not guilty plea. Are you planning on representing yourself, or would you like me to have you assigned a court-appointed attorney?
Sure, we can do close one attorney.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about your income to see if you qualify. Do you receive any manner of state assistance at all right now?
Yeah, please, Dan.
Okay. So I'm going to find you do qualify for court-appointed attorney. Court's going to assign Rebecca Ward. We're going to assign you 2 court dates forward, sir. The first is going to be on the 24th of August. That's going to be a date that Ms. Ward is going to be able to communicate with our city attorney, Ms. Carmi. Your next mandatory court date, sir, is going to be on the 22nd of September 2022, and that's going to be at 10 a.m. That's a mandatory court date, so if you fail to appear at that time, a warrant would be issued for your arrest. Conditions of your release are to violate no laws, notify the court of any change of address or phone number, and not to drive without a valid license and insurance. So your attorney can be in touch with you. Can you provide me the best contact number for her to call you?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Okay. Is there an email address she can also email you at, sir? The court's going to mail you the documentation regarding your next court date. Are you still residing on Pioneer Loop in La Center?
Sure.
All right. We'll mail the paperwork there. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
All righty. Take care.
Okay. Tamika.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. This video I just did. It was only a couple days ago. I did this video. They said it there. It was set for 11 o'clock in the morning. I did a live stream. I did not clickbait you people. I did a live stream. The case was set at 11. I flipped it on at 11. They just didn't call it. They were behind. Later they got it, so I recorded it. But it is pretty darn good.
Joe Smith versus Paige Vaughn. Case number C22G4441LT. Let me
Judge, hold on just one moment. Mr. Smith, come over like in the center of that table, please.
all right.
That way you're separated. Thank you.
Raise your right hands to be sworn, both of you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge, understanding, and belief?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, identify yourself for the record.
Your Honor, Mr. Tamiko Smith, T-A-M-I-E-K-C-O. Last name is Smith, comment there.
Speak up, ma'am.
Paige Vaughn,
Spell your name.
P-A-I-G-E-V-A-U-G-H-N.
Can you speak up even more than that? Use your outdoor voice since you got the mask.
Paige Vaughn.
Are you picking her up?
Yeah.
Okay. That mic is just recording. It doesn't amplify your voice. Okay, we were here on the 12th.
But by the way, if I said that to a woman, the world would end. But Marable gets away with it in his Mr. Magoo sort of way.
Which was,
No, today's 12th, Judge.
we were here on the 10th.
Yes.
And we adjourned it to today in person because I ordered that Mr. Smith install smoke detectors and get these bedroom windows with screens or air conditioning installed. So where are we at?
Your Honor, I went to the home yesterday and confirmed that there were already 5 working smoke detectors in the home. I actually bought 5, but when I went to the home, there were already 5 in there. There was one that needs a battery. I replaced the battery, and I took pictures to confirm that they were already installed.
Okay, in the first video, I said, I don't know. He could be full of it because he had any violations. He didn't have a license, everything like that. Based upon the hearing today, I now believe the guy. Not 100%, but a high percentage. The guy rolls up there with 5 new smoke detectors. And of course, the smoke detectors he already had were in the place. And don't worry, he's got evidence.
I also bought 5 screens and I put them in the bedroom. I identified specific spots, took pictures and put them in the bedroom. I went to the Flint Housing Commission or the Flint inspector, and they told me what screens to get and what was needed for the home, and I did that yesterday. But the home did already have smoke detectors in it.
Let me see the pictures. Show them to her and then show them to me. Did you print them out?
I printed out the pictures of the screen. I also printed out pictures of ceiling fans that are installed in the home. And I took photos of the home, the smoke detectors.
Did you print out the pictures
I
of
printed
the
out
of smoke detectors?
sir. I just none of the smoke detectors.
So what, they're on your phone? They're on your phone?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, how many pictures are there?
The pictures that I have right here are 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures.
Well, you show them to her and then show them to me.
It's not good.
Okay, show her the pictures of the smoke detectors.
May I approach the bench?
Show her the pictures of the smoke detectors too.
Oh, I sent her pics.
He sent them to you. You have them? On your phone?
I prefer bench, please.
Yeah, show them, make sure it's the same one that she's got.
I mean, I was there when he put them in, so
Wait.
he didn't come right.
Let me see.
These are the pictures of the screens that were put in along with the ceiling fan.
You installed a ceiling fan.
No, the ceiling fans were already installed, but there's ceiling fans in every room of the home because there was question about the heat. And I wanted to show the court that not only were there already ceiling fans in there, but I went over and installed screens and there were already smoke detectors in the home when I went there. It's the picture of.
Yeah, go to the next one.
Okay.
Go to the next one. Go to the next one. All right.
And there was one that was missing that I had to replace, but they were already there in the home.
Yeah, if you guys are just coming in, you really do have to see the beginning of this. It is something special. I'm probably going to clip that and use it as a meme for the rest of my life. It's fantastic.
Well, there was one missing and four that were there.
Yes, sir.
What do you have to say about that, ma'am?
When I had pushed and they weren't working, that's exactly what I told my mom too.
Ma'am, you know what?
I have no reason to lie.
Do you know what you said the other day? Do you remember what you said the other day? You told me there were no smoke detectors in the home.
Every house I've lived in, you're supposed to have them in every.
Ma'am, listen to me. Do you understand the difference between no smoke detectors and smoke detectors that don't work? You told me there were no smoke detectors in the home. Do you remember saying that?
Get her, Judge Marable.
I said they didn't work.
No, not at all. You said there were no smoke detectors. Listen, ma'am, if you had said there were smoke detectors there, but they didn't work, I would have said, put a battery. I would have told him, put a battery in them. Or I would have told him to reimburse you for batteries. You told me there were no smoke detectors in the home. And I told him to go over there and install them.
I didn't say at all. That never came out of my mouth.
Wow. Okay.
There's none in the home.
You know what I'd love to do? You know what? Ma'am, you see, we record all this, okay? And you know what? I don't have a problem. I have a problem doing it today. But I don't have a problem with going back and watching the recordings, okay? I don't have
because you're a liar, once on fire.
Okay? And if you didn't tell the truth, you could be held in contempt of court for putting a falsehood out there.
Judge, you can call the whole chat from Law Talk with Mike. All of us are willing to testify.
So, I questioned you and him on this more than once. Because I'm telling you, ma'am, when I hear there are no smoke detectors in a home, look, this case was going to be dismissed. I was going to dismiss it on Wednesday because he didn't have a rental license. I held it over because I was really concerned about the smoke detector issue, and I was concerned about the ventilation issue as well. Okay?
When I said there was no smoke detectors, I meant they didn't work. They weren't working for me. That's not me lying.
Well, ma'am, there's a huge difference between something not existing versus something that's in disrepair.
I guess I'm not. I guess I mean, you know, you are a grown person. You know, you're not a little kid. You're a grown person. I gotta believe that as a grown adult person, you understand the difference between saying that something isn't there and
Totally
something's not working. I know you got. I mean, I could be wrong, but I sincerely think that you understand the difference.
Yeah, and I'm stressed because I have 3 kids that might be homeless.
But I asked you more than one time about this.
I said they
lying about it isn't a good thing.
I said there wasn't 5. There wasn't 5.
You said there were no.
My kids might be homeless, and the only way that they won't be is that if you rule that I get to stay in this man's house for free indefinitely. That is her position. Straight up. That's what she brought to court.
Oh, ma'am.
He said
listen to me. Listen to me. It freaked me out. And believe you me, in 21 years of sitting here, or whatever it is, 21, 22, I'm losing count. I've heard of homes where there are no smoke detectors. And even if it's a case I'm going to dismiss, I usually do what I did in this case, which was to put it over and give the landlord, order them to correct it.
He is. He's Mr. Magoo on the bench.
I was never given anything to get any help before the case went to you.
That's a whole different issue, ma'am. You're trying to avoid the issue. Here's the note.
No,
you know what I wish? Can I show you the note?
I'm trying to,
Okay.
I never got help.
All right. So wait a minute.
Ever.
You got the time. Well, that's what I was doing the adjournment, right?
That's when you stated what he was to do. I wouldn't have written it that way if that wasn't what was said, George.
I indicated that I was adjourning it to today to allow plaintiff a chance to correct the issue of missing smoke detectors. Oh, yeah.
Oh, thanks, Paul.
I believe there's also another space there where you said that he was ordered to place them in the sleeping areas.
Yep. That's
okay. Now I'm still cold busted lying, so she wants to go technicalities. He did discuss the sleeping areas. What that particular thing is true, but he's starting from the proposition that there are no smoke detectors in the house. You big something liar.
I did. That's at 17 or 1:17 o'clock. 36 seconds.
Oh, nice. Veruca Salt reference. I like the character and the band.
Well, you've got your arms folded, and so do I.
Because I'm dying in the house. And I don't have nowhere else to go.
Well, let's talk about this ventilation issue.
It's not even that. I have a throat disease.
Just a second. Don't stop. I want to see if my order was complied with. He showed pictures of the screens that he put in. He showed pictures of the ceiling fans. So how many different screens are these windows operable in the bedrooms now?
They were operable. There was only 2 windows that weren't operable. I went over to the home, Your Honor.
Yes, and they always were. Oh, it gets worse.
Lifted up the windows, they were operable, and I placed the screens in them. So the windows in the bedroom were operable. There were 2 that are in the living room that were painted shut, and I sat there and talked with her and her mother as I was able to lift those up. As I lifted one of them up, it broke, so I took it out and said, hey, I'll replace this one. But I also placed screens in the living rooms. And I made sure that every room in the house had a ceiling fan except one bedroom. And I said, hey, I don't have a problem with putting the ceiling fan in that bedroom, if, you know, if that's the issue.
All right, so I want to know if there's cross ventilation in there now.
I'm not sure what the term of cross ventilation is.
I want to know, well,
That was actually intelligent. I like this landlord more and more. I wasn't sure. I just said, give the guy a chance. Do exactly. I liked what the judge did. Set it over 48 hours. Give him a chance to go in and check up. That, I think, was a very reasonable response to the last hearing. But now I see this, and he says, well, I want to make sure there's cross ventilation. And you know, he's like, well, define that. I mean, how are you supposed to say, you know, not in a bad way. Like, we get it. Is there a breeze or whatever? But he's like, you know, before I run my mouth about it, what precisely do you mean by that?
what I'm saying is,
There's ventilation in there.
can you get a breeze through the house?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, there is.
She's saying yes, there is.
I get that we know what you're saying, but it's sort of euphemistic. And when we're in court, let's get some definitions going. And he sort of did clarify.
Well, again, and I'm going to admonish you, you can't have a house in the summertime that doesn't have ventilation. It's unsafe.
Yeah, you see, he never did. Why don't you tone it down a notch here? You didn't know, so you did this, but you were very hard on him. Now you're seeing the evidence, and it's showing that she is not truthful. So why don't we just, I mean, you don't have to be crazy, but why don't we just take it down a notch? Because what he was saying was much closer to the truth than her.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
And just as you got to have a working heating system between October 1st and March 1st.
There's a working heating system in the home, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, what is it that you wanted to say? I'm going to give you the last word, in essence, I guess.
I mean, I don't know what's happening with this house because I don't have the money to pay for it right now.
To pay for what?
Boom. There's the whole thing, just like I said. I don't know what's happening with this house. You know exactly what's happening with this house. It's a fine house. It probably could use a couple of updates and you know, a battery in the smoke detector, but very small stuff. You're lying about it because you can't pay for it. You did actually just admit it, but that's the game. You want to live rent-free indefinitely. That is what you want.
Well, I don't have nowhere to go.
Well, ma'am, you know, are you employed?
I just got a new job.
Is it a full-time job?
I'm considered part of.
By the way, I don't believe any of this either. Not believe, but first of all, she's lost all credibility, so I don't believe a word that comes out of her mouth about anything. She could tell me that it's Friday, and I would question it. But a woman with children has lots of sources of income, namely the fathers through child support payments or the government. So there's lots of stuff that she's not saying. She's like, oh, I've got 3 kids to support and I have a part-time job. Her mother is taking care of the children. Let's call it straight. And she's scamming a house. That's the game she's playing. Plain and simple.
And okay, well, are you making above minimum wage?
No sites are the same price, so I can't even tell you that because I just started there. Every site's different. Security guard. I just recently started working there. I don't have my bills are all behind from being robbed of like $4,500.
Well, ma'am, you know, I had suggested to you, you know, the other day that you go to legal services, and you told me, well, they don't want, the one guy wouldn't decline to one gentleman declined to represent you. That's what you told me. And I suggested to you that you contact them back. Remember, you know.
What he wants to say, but he really can't in his position, but I can, is you're the problem. You sat there and lied and took ridiculous positions and didn't really want help. He knows it, but he can't quite say it, and that's appropriate as he's sitting on the bench. It is. but I can, so I just did.
That I usually have somebody else, but I don't know.
I never received, I called all the places, I just called them out there too, but I never got them, and the only reason I was even called those is because he showed me the paper out there.
Because he showed you what?
He showed me the paper with stuff, I never received that.
What paper? To be in court last week?
No, I never received nothing to get help ever.
Oh.
Can I address the court, Your Honor?
Well, listen, why isn't there, is there a lease in here? Huh?
There is.
So you're talking about help from Sarah?
I never was able to get it at any of these 3 court dates. I was never sent nothing, and I was promised by the judge before you, it was going to come to the mail, and they dismissed it before.
Your Honor, the paper she's referring to is the court paper that you guys give them as far as the relief. I sat out in the hallway and we both called each number, eviction, relief program, and they said that Sarah had ended, they couldn't help her. Salvation Army couldn't help her. She said she already completed an SDR and DHS denied it. So at this point in time, Your Honor, I'm the type of person, I said, I don't want to see you go homeless. I'm willing to pay your security deposit and first month's rent to a new house. I just want my property back. I'm willing to help her any way that I can, but she couldn't identify anything. It's a tough situation for the young lady. I don't want to put her out at all whatsoever, but I want to help her. I can't help her. I don't know,
Well, ma'am, the other thing was you said you were going to bring a copy of the building inspector's report.
I have it right here, Your Honor. I went down and got it.
Okay, well, why don't you show him your copy?
It's the same thing, yeah.
Well, let me see the cleanest, nicest, prettiest copy. I don't care whose it is.
Brandon.
This is like that because
Inspector's office yesterday, Your Honor.
So why didn't you get it? It's sent to Breckenridge, which is what you listed on your complaint. Why do you claimed you hadn't got it?
When I went down there, they said they mailed it. If you look at the date is June 24th. They said that I should have gotten it today in the mail. So
Why is he yelling at this guy? The guy didn't get it. She is stone cold busted lying, and to his credit, he was yelling at her for it. But then he wants to even it up. Everything is not everyone's equally at fault. She's more at fault here. He needs to get his license and get things straight, but she's a stone cold liar, and he's operating in good faith. You have to see that difference and adjust accordingly and calibrate.
I asked him for a copy. Just when I went down there after the court hearing, I went down there immediately after the court hearing and spoke to them about all the issues, and they kind of explained to me what needed to be done.
Oh my God! You got a furnace in there, but it hasn't been inspected. Eaves, truss, and trim are missing. That's not a big deal, but that furnace thing, that's a big deal.
And what you said about the furnace, Your Honor, the furnace was installed properly. I just have to have a contractor come in and basically give me a permit. I mean, you can't. I wasn't aware.
It's got to be inspected to make sure it's not spitting out carbon monoxide or something.
Yeah, and that's what he said.
Okay, so I'm saying.
Yeah. You just paraphrased what he said and acted like he was arguing with you. I don't get it.
Without the permit.
Yeah, without the permit. That's what he said. He gave me remedies for everything. There was no major safety issues cited, but I wanted to address all that. I don't have a problem doing that. That doesn't negate the fact.
It's a gas line that's uncapped. Ooh, that's not good. In the basement. Ma'am, it says smoke detectors are not working. Doesn't say there are no smoke detectors in this report. So that's why I know that didn't, even the building inspector said that ma'am, the building inspector, who has no dog or cat in any of this fight, said smoke detectors are not working. Didn't say that they were missing or were non-existent. Said they're not working. So ma'am, you didn't tell the truth.
I said they weren't working.
You said that there were no smoke detectors.
Yeah, because when they're not working, what are they?
Not working.
But it's not my job to always.
You're missing the point. You lied about it. You lied about the existence of the smoke detectors. They were there. And here's a building inspector that said that they were there.
I did not lie about that. When he was stating that there was 5 in there, I said no.
Ma'am, I tell you what.
And it states that there's not 5.
Ma'am, I tell you what. If you really want, if you want to take me up on this issue, we will play this. We will set this for another date.
Games. I have kids.
We will set this for another date, and we will have a contempt hearing. Okay.
A contempt. What does that mean?
What is contempt of court?
It means you go to jail, dummy.
You're not making me. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying you can be held in contempt of court if you tell a lie in court.
I didn't lie.
I would put her in right now. This is why I'm not a judge. I would put her in right now. I would put her in and say, we're setting this over for 48 hours. Somebody competent, go get those children. You are spending the night in jail. We'll recall this Monday or Tuesday and see if the attitude's adjusted. But you're stone cold lied to me, and I'm not having it. The end.
Okay.
Right.
Maybe misworded it, but I didn't lie.
Misworded it? Okay.
I'm stressed out. You have a home to go to. I have 3 kids. This is ridiculous. I have a gas leak in my house. Is that wrong?
Well, where does it say that you got a gas leak?
If there's a gas not capped, it's a gas leak.
It doesn't say that.
If I bring a consumer energy guy out there,
It says, let me read what the building inspector wrote.
Yeah.
There is an unused.
He told me don't go near it.
I wouldn't go near it either, but it says there is an unused gas line located in the basement that is uncapped. A properly fitted cap or plug shall be installed. It does not say that it's leaking. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that at all.
Uncapped, that's dangerous, period.
Katrina's probably got one.
If there's not gas running through it, it's probably not dangerous. I got a feeling.
I'm just saying what Rick Smith said to me, and I'm not lying. And I can call him and ask him. Maybe bring him to court with me. He said, "Don't go near it. It's not capped."
I don't blame you.
Thank you,
That was the way he said it to me.
Like I said previously, I'm willing to do, I'm rental license, everything. That's going to be done. That's the issue is that she's homeless. She's going to be homeless. She doesn't have any way to pay. I've tried to help her with resources. I've even offered to pay my own money to help her find a place. She does, I don't know what else I can do.
Can you return this to Mr. Smith?
Do you need a copy in the file, sir?
Yeah, you could put a copy. Okay, so look, as I said before, this case is getting dismissed because you don't have a rental license. And the ordinance says you gotta have a rental license to collect rent and to bring a non-payment of rent case in court. So, that's why it's getting thrown out.
Okay.
And so, ma'am, he has to, if he's still trying to evict you, he's got to start all over.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, can you repeat that?
If he is trying to evict you still, he's got to, start at square one again. Ma'am, you know what? I think, let me just give you a little bit of advice, okay? People don't like being quote unquote gamed. Have you heard that expression? What it means to game somebody?
Yeah.
Okay. People don't like that. I don't like it.
I know where there's free lodging.
And I'm telling you, you say you misword things. Okay? I'm trying to tell you, it's the most important thing you have, you know, in this world. I don't know if it's money or your children, I mean, you know, all that stuff, but your credibility. Credibility is like really important, especially in court. I'll put it that way. So I don't think that it benefits you to exaggerate a situation. Don't exaggerate. Don't say something that's not true.
Those are my intentions.
Well,
Oh, it was your intention.
you know, I'm not going to go there right now. I'm just not. But I'm just telling you. I mean, you said you had trouble with legal services. You know, maybe this is why. I don't know. I have no idea. But, you know, ma'am, it's a big deal that he doesn't even has never had a rental license. So that's pretty bad, you know, in and of itself. I don't think that doesn't bear enhancing the rest of the conditions. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it's kind of like it kind of reminds me, you know, if there was a murderer somewhere and a prosecutor was saying he killed, you know, 3 people, and, you know, he's led a life of crime his whole life, and he wears clothes that don't match. You know, why enhance? There's no need. He killed 3 people. That's pretty bad all on its own. You don't have to say he wears clothes that don't match. You know, or he I don't know, kicks the cat. You don't have to add, you don't have to enhance it when you got something like he doesn't have a rental license. He's operating this illegal. You don't have to enhance it. So anyway, I need to sign a dismissal.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. Are these photos staying in the file, Judge?
Yeah, he's got copies, I'm sure.
Yes, I do.
Did he give you copies of the photos?
I can give a copy. That's not an issue.
Well, we make copies
Okay.
right now. They're color.
And they're dark to begin with. It's not going to copy well. I mean, she didn't dispute them, so.
Well, let's do this. We'll make copies. Give her the color copies. We'll have the, no, give her the black and white copies.
Okay.
We got the ventilation going. That's the important. Okay. It's not those pictures. It's the ventilation. You know, the good thing about it is it's only going to be in the 70s today. So it's not going to be like it was a couple of weeks ago.
Well, they didn't even put it.
I mean, it's livable in the low 70s with the windows open. And you got ceiling fans too. So, you know, you could probably make it.
No, this is really quick. Absolutely, you know, want to be lawful, and I will be obtaining a rental license. As a matter of fact, I signed the application. But, you know, in case we want to go in front of you, you know, rental license or not, that doesn't negate the fact that you can't pay for it. And, you know.
No, but you are obligated to do. Listen. When the lease started,
I did it again.
You had 60 days to get a rental license, and you didn't do it.
And that's fine. I accept full responsibility for that, Your Honor. Absolutely.
I am not muted.
I mean, you know,
I'm right now.
It's like driving a car and not having a license.
Absolutely.
You can't cry when you get pulled over and you get written up for driving.
I'm tired of this comparison. Oh, okay. He has acknowledged he needs a license. He gets it. Stop chewing him out about it. Let's do analogies. I can do better at analogies than you, Mr. Magoo. He is guilty of jaywalking and she is guilty of a felony. Okay? Stop giving the moral equivalence on this. It isn't close. Oh, and I like Judge Marable, but he's what he did is he formed an impression and he's stuck on it. He formed an impression from the first hearing and he didn't know all the facts. So that's okay. That was a guess. I get it. But now you know more. Adjust.
Have a license suspended or no license.
Absolutely. I just want to suggest a plan. I just want her to have some type of plan because I'm going to file again. I just want her to use this time to try to, try to come up with a plan.
That's between you and her.
I mean, it's not between me and her, it's between her because ultimately, I'm going to follow the law. So I just want her to get the opportunity to kind of find a plan.
Well, I mean, if you guys work, you said you're willing to pay.
Yesterday you said you were willing to pay a text.
Yeah, I said I was willing to
work with me.
Absolutely. I was willing to pay her a security deposit and basically refund her money so she could leave.
No, that's not what we agreed on.
You collected it? Didn't you collect a security deposit from him?
Yes, I did.
But that wasn't what we agreed on. We agreed that if I got help from a program, he would let me still stay there.
No, absolutely. If you got help, absolutely.
But I can't help that they turned me down.
I know, and I can't help that either.
Okay, so she actually paid the security deposit, which is nice, but I don't know what the specific thing there is. But it sounds like it's, the whole status deal, probably like the Chicago Landlord-tenant ordinance. You can't touch that. That has to go into a segregated account. And if you don't have it available at all times, there's treble damages. That's Chicago. But Flint's going to have the same nonsense. They're going to have the same horrible scheme. Trust me. So this guy still hasn't gotten any money.
So I agree. We both set out. We both set out.
Well, let me make one. I'll make one last. I'm gonna make one last suggestion.
Oh no!
Because when I sign this, when I finish,
I like this suggestion.
I know where there's free lodging.
I'm done with the two of you for now. Here's my last suggestion on it. If you guys are able to communicate and work it out, fantastic. But it doesn't sound like that's going on very well. So the what do they call the Community Resolution Center?
The Community Resolution Center is a complete waste of time. Judges will do things like this. I completely disagree with it. I understand it's okay. A lot of judges would go down this path. It's pointless. There is no common ground here. She doesn't have any money. She will never pay. There is no resolution to get. She needs to leave. The problem here is he needs to get an attorney who can force this issue. I would say to him, let's get the license and evict her ass. That's what we need to do. But this community resolution supposes that she has any, chance of actually paying rent. She does, but she's not going to. She's in bad faith. It's that simple. But he does this to, I don't know, just to end the case. I don't think he even believes it himself. He just pretends to so that he can say something before he dismisses the case and moves to the next one.
Do we have the number for that?
Yesterday you wanted to help me, and now today you're saying you want me out of your house.
No, I'm saying I wanted to help you.
Look, you guys, I'm talking.
Absolutely.
Because when I sign this paper, I haven't put my name there yet. You guys are going to get out of this room. If you guys have trouble working this out between yourselves, you can go to, there's a number there.
On there?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's give them that. Community Resolution Center. They have a mediator. You guys can sit down with each other. Ma'am, here. I'm going to give you my copy.
I have a stack of them.
Well, here.
Okay, I've had too many cocktails to give you my rendition of what I think the Community Resolution Center actually is. But let's just say it probably involves blue hair.
You can have my copy, whatever.
Yeah, but you circled something else on there, didn't you?
No.
Or somebody did. I did. probably.
You guys could go over there and hammer out an agreement. You can they'll put it in writing. And that way, it's not going to be this he said, she said, well, you said this yesterday, but you said this tomorrow. You know, you guys can, that's what you guys ought to do. That's what I would do.
Yes.
Okay, so that's my suggestion. So I'm starting to write my name. Case is dismissed. My name is Doug.
There's a copy for you again.
All right, that's it. Thank you.
I'm gonna give you these copies. Everyone just wait a moment.
Yeah.
Adding for the reasons stated on the record, Judge.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, there you have it. That was pretty good. Judge Marable was good in parts. I mean, he was not accepting her lies, and he called her out. That was fantastic. The other stuff is typical dopey that a lot of judges would do. It's dumb. Community resolution is a waste of everyone's time. Pretending that he's as bad as her is insincere, but it makes it's easier for him. You know, I get it, and a lot of judges would do that, but it doesn't make it right. She's at fault here. He doesn't have a license, so fine, dismiss his case. As a matter of law, he can't bring it. But apparently, that's the statute. I'll accept that. I'll accept that that's the case. If I represented him, I would push hard. If I represented the landlord here, I would have pushed hard for contempt and gotten her out of there. And then I would have said, okay, I would have pushed hard for two things: contempt and access, so I can go in, get my license, and then refile, get her evicted. That's what needs to go on here. But she has no negotiating position. She is unwilling to pay money. She doesn't care about the property. She's living at her mom's. That's what's going on. She is just doing this as a game on the side because she could see that this guy didn't have his ducks in a row. That is what's happening here. She probably doesn't get along with her mom. She probably does want to have an alternate place. I get it. She probably, whatever. I won't get into further speculation. You can have your own. You can guess where Law Talk with Mike's evil mind goes. But that's the truth. That's the truth. I can't say it all, but that's the truth. Although it was fascinating, I think Judge Marable did okay in some parts. I really do. He did not accept it. He was irritated that she lied to him. He called her out on it. What bothered me, it wasn't the end of the world, but what bothered me is he stuck with his supposition that the landlord was a horrible person. It was clear from the evidence presented in court that he was not. And he had no basis to continue on with that, but other than it's easy. He didn't want to appear to be hard on a defendant. Well, that's not his job. His job is to try to do the right thing. And the right thing here is to get a woman out who has no intention of paying. If she needs housing, then there are other things we need to do. We need to look at resources. Is this a welfare situation, a Section 8 situation, something else? But just gaming some landlord who wasn't wise enough to dot his I's and cross his T's is not the right result, and it's clear. Now, within the statute or whatever, that doesn't mean you go forward with his case and you just like do things. Fine, you dismiss his case, but let's not act like he's a criminal because he's not acting like one. She is. I don't know. That's the way I see it. Thank you all for coming out. I apologize for anybody who showed up in my earlier stream, although it was fun. It was just insanity. And we didn't get this, but we had Katrina acting, we had Hurricane Katrina showed up and some dude with lockjaw that that Judge Marable couldn't understand why he was chatting. Like, because he's got lockjaw, dude. I don't know. This I'll probably be banned from YouTube after expressing a mild opinion today. So, if so, it was nice knowing y'all. All right. If not, I will see you soon.